What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. My name is Vincent. SFU Financial Aid and Awards. What are they and how do you get them? How do you apply for them? What are the deadlines? SFU Financial Aid and Awards, or FAA, I will be mentioning that from now on. So it's a system or a program that basically they kind of help with funding for students who need it. And there's a lot of different things from here, like work study, bursaries, scholarships, and a lot more, which we will discuss today. It is important to know though that the deadline of application and payment might be different for every term and every year, so I will pop this one out for the spring 2022. And as you can see there's work study, bursary, scholarship. If you want to find this, maybe you're watching this not right now, not during I'm filming or uploading this video, but maybe in a year from now, not in spring anymore, but summer or fall 2022, you can simply search up SFU FAA or maybe SFU Bursary, SFU Work Study. Any of these keywords will lead you to the same page, which is this. And if you want to know the deadline, you can simply type deadline after that. Just like any type of awards and scholarship, once you apply this and meet all the criteria required to apply, you will have to wait a certain time for them to evaluate and then inform you with their decision. And obviously, a lot of people apply for this stuff because a lot of people refer to this as free money, or obviously if you have a work study, then you get a job with them, or if a bursary, it's like help with funding. Because of this, they need to really evaluate who need it and who demonstrate a good financial standing and academic standing and needs, so that even though this is a good choice to maybe like help with pay your tuition, help with pay your rent, or even like maybe some expenses. Let's say you need to get a new laptop because your laptop is broke. Maybe you need to get a new equipment for classes. And this is a good way to get a funding, but obviously they want to make sure they give to the right person, so you don't always get it. So every time you make your financial plan, please keep that in mind and don't think that, oh, I'll get an extra 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 this term, so it's fine, and you'll add that to your budget because you might not get it. So the first FAA is the work study program, which is, as the name, work study. It is like a part-time job, but you do it on campus and usually with the teachers and students, or even like the department there. There's a lot of different type of applications, but basically it's an opportunity to participate in like maybe research-based projects, or maybe a lot of other project-based projects, or even like interview. And there's a lot, basically it's a lot of different variety on this. The way that you did this is that first you need to apply it for, right now we can see there, it's November 8 to November 26. So by the day that I upload this, if you watch this right now, it's already open, so you can apply this directly, and the deadline is November 26. The way that you apply for this and any other FAA is that you go to your Go SFU, and then you have this drop down where you can find the financial aid and awards, and you can see a lot of their steps and fill in all of their information from there, and you're good to go. Basically that's it. But for work study program, because obviously it's technically a job, once you get accepted to it, if you get accepted, you will have a password for the portal where you can find the jobs that you want. So unfortunately I didn't screenshot the work study that I had a few while ago, but here's roughly how it looks like. It will be like a table with a list of jobs and a lot of like names, department, and who is the person in charge and everything. So you can find this kind of like job IDs and what you probably will do, and you can find a lot of this. And I believe you have around like 30 days to apply. So in those 30 days, you can apply to as many jobs as you want. Just like a normal job application process, you will send in your resume and then you will be interviewed, and then maybe they can offer you right away, or maybe they'll think about it and send you the offer later. It's basically the same as maybe you get your typical job. There's not that many stages, like maybe you apply to KPMG or those kind of big company where you have a lot of round of interviews and a lot of tests. This one just like resume, interview, that's it. But obviously it could be different, so keep that in mind. Now I mentioned that there are some requirements before. I believe that it's the same across every applications across like bursaries, work study, and everything. So I'll just mention it right now, but if I found that, oh, there's actually something different, I'll mention it to you later. But the eligibility requirement is that you need to have and demonstrated financial needs to SFU, and they will assess to think that it's appropriate or not for them to give you the financial aid and the bursaries, let's say, or work study, or to apply for the job. You also need to be enrolled in a minimum of 9 units of standard graded course, which is like means 9 credit. You need to be in a good academic standing and have a minimum GPA of 2. at SFU in the terms of applications, except if you just come into SFU or you just like transfer from another college and you got your GPA resetted, then this doesn't matter. But I need to note though that I do remember for the units, for the scholarship, I believe it's different. So I'll let you know a little bit later when we talk about scholarship. Once you pass the interview process and you do get the offer, you have the choices to accept. But obviously this is like a normal job offer. If they offer a lot of different positions and they think that let's say I have 2 options open but I give 5 offer, if a lot of people, 2 of these people already like accept the offer, obviously you don't get it. So there's kind of like maybe you want to wait a bit to see if you get another offer, but you don't want to wait too long so that you miss every offer. And there's a lot of this kind of game, but you know, it's better to have a lot of offer to think about it and then you think about it compared to you don't have any offers, right? But once from there, it's a simple breeze. Once you get accepted in the positions, you're gonna be enrolled in like a mini course where you learn a little bit about work study, about what you do, blah blah blah, and then you will be paid the minimum wage, which is at the time of filming is $15.2 per hour with a maximum of 140 hours per term. After that, you just need to sign a lot of like contracts, supervisor, and a lot of like paperwork. Once that get over with, you can contact your supervisors, talk to them like when you're gonna start working, what you're gonna do, where. Once you completed all the paperwork, it's done basically. You can just start working. The second FAA is bursaries, which is the one that I mentioned before. A lot of people refer it to as free cash. And bursaries are like supplementary source to your funding because they basically just transfer and deposit the amount that you get to your bank account in the middle of the term, almost around 3rd, 4th of the term. It is important to note though, as I mentioned before, to not treat this as your primary source of funding, especially if you don't have enough money but you're still spending a lot and you think just, oh, I will get the bursary and I'll be fine. Don't do that, you'll kill yourself. Literally, not literally, but yeah. And one thing that I do forget to note though is that bursaries and work study are available both to local Canadians, PR, and international students. So no matter your background and your status here, you can apply for both and you're eligible for both. The eligibility requirement for bursary is the same as work study, which is you need to demonstrate a good financial need, you need to have at least 9 credit on the term, and you need to have at least 2.0 GPA. The application process and how you apply is also the exact same with work study, which is go to gosfu.ca and then just follow the process in the financial aids and awards and select bursary and maybe not work study if you already missed the deadline, because it does open on December 20 until January 14, so it does take a while and already like a while back after the work study term. So if you're only applying for bursary, obviously the work study has passed. And yeah, the other stuff is the same. You just fill in everything and then probably once you're done, if you get it, they do want you to set up a direct deposit, which is also in the gosfu.ca if I believe, but there's a way to search up on that, like how to set up direct deposit on SFU and a lot of different resources online for that. Oh, it's been so long since I do a talking head. My mouth got so tired. Now, before we move on to the third FAA, I do have to emphasize and let you know that bursaries and work study can conflict, although a lot of schools say that whatever the amount that you get, or if you get work study or not, it doesn't affect if you get bursary. And I don't remember where I saw that or read that, but I don't think SFU mentioned that, but obviously a lot of people does assume that, because when I talk to a lot of people, they do say that, but it's not true because I've done both. And actually this term that I do have work study this term, but because of that work study, I'm not eligible for bursary because they said that I already have enough, so I cannot get bursary. And if I do want to get bursary, I will need to cancel my work study in order to get bursary. So basically speaking, I need to choose one or the other. Obviously, maybe if you demonstrate an extreme financial need, you will get both, but be careful to not lie about it. Don't lie about the amount that maybe your parents' income, because if they do think it's fishy or they do find out, you will get blacklisted about it. So yeah, this is to debunk the myth that a lot of people think they can double their income, because obviously if you work as a work study, you get $15 an hour. For 140 hours, you get around 2,100 something, and then if you get another 2,000 from the work study, obviously that's a 4 grand for you. But yeah, it doesn't happen like that, and now the third FAA is scholarship, which is the least I have experience and knowledge about because I'm not that smart, so I'm not eligible for this basically. But scholarships are also available to both international and Canadian students, and it's basically, as the definition and as a lot of you know, scholarship is to award someone who's like high achiever, especially in academic grades. I'm not sure if they have scholarship like for other than academics. There's obviously a lot of like awards and rewards for maybe like different kind of clubs or something, but we're strictly talking about this one on the FAA is on the academic. Now the requirement for scholarship is a little bit different, which is that you need to have completed at least 12 units standard grade in SFU, so the terms before, and you need to be enrolled in 12 units this term. So either like 3 classes of 4 credits or 4 classes of 3 credits, or mix of both if you can get like 12 credits in total or more. And you need to have at least cumulative GPA of 3.5. And one thing that I also forgot, that all the GPA I stated, which is the CGPA of 2 before, is cumulative, which means that it's a GPA of total, your whole total time in the university. So let's say I'm third year right now, so all GPA that I got from the first time I came until right now, cumulatively and divided, that's the CGPA. So it's not just the GPA of last term or this term, but it's like the total GPA. The way that you apply this is also the same in the go.sfg.ca, but instead of apply for work study or bursaries, you choose the options of apply for scholarships and awards, and you follow from there. But obviously I mentioned before, I never done this because I'm not that smart, so I cannot apply for this, and thus I never tried. But this is obviously strictly speaking academically, and there's a lot of information over here that I don't really understand. And scholarship is quite different from work study and bursaries because both of them are pretty straightforward. You just apply, interview, or maybe like you apply and wait. But for scholarship, obviously there's more towards like which scholarship you apply for. There's a few that they mention here, like the scholarship external to SFU, McCall-McBain scholarship, scholarship administered by the SFU, and a lot of different type of scholarship. So you do need to check, and if you think that you want to apply for scholarship, you might better off be talking to maybe academic advisor or student advisor, or a lot of different types of advisors and administrative at SFU, so they can guide you towards how to apply for scholarship, because obviously you don't want to hear something from someone who never have experience with it. And I'll leave it over there. So that's the 3 main FAA, and obviously the scholarships still have a lot of branches, but because I don't have any experience with it, I don't want to get into it. I do have my notes here, but there's a lot of like notes that I've written down and find from a lot of sources, and I'll probably just put it in the descriptions if you want to give them a read. But I don't want to like say something that I don't know, because obviously I don't have experience with this, right? So you can find all of the links and resources in the descriptions down below. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't, and comment below also like what do you want to watch next, or what topic you want me to discuss, or who do you want me to discuss with, so we can have a lot more idea and we can expand it more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again this Saturday actually. Take care.